I'm actually an engineer by trade. I'm not from health or tech. And I guess it was going in deep as an engineer into really what was happening to my body, and really not taking nothing's wrong for an answer, not taking the dismissals for an answer, and not taking just take the pill and go home as an answer, and really wanting to understand, like, what's really going on, what's really going wrong, and can I somehow reshape that narrative for myself. And so I sort of reverse engineered my own endo, cracked my endo code, and have been living pain and symptom free for 8 years now, started a family. So I'm in endometriosis remission, which is pretty unheard of for a lot of people, but is possible to always feel better than you do today, I truly believe. And I started to get really frustrated with how there wasn't a one-stop shop for the gold I had uncovered in this deep journey, the evidence I had uncovered, the practitioners I had spoken to, and how it's all supported to help you with a chronic inflammatory disease like endometriosis. And so I just wanted to get that out into the world. And most importantly, I wanted to make an impact and make sure I was making an impact in people's lives. So we built the Endo 45 app. And yeah, I left my energy career and I'm now sort of at the forefront of femtech in this space. And it's exciting. It's really exciting. I think sufferers have found their voice, right? And they've found a platform to raise that voice on and get really loud. And when we get loud, we get heard. And it's unfortunate that the system, be it research, medical, corporate, can't move as fast as, say, like a movement or a community can. But it's really good to see that slowly but surely the lights turning on in the city, and everything from new ways of diagnosing endometriosis to new treatments are being researched and funded slowly but surely. And that there's just a really large, I guess, sufferer campaign going on with the world in terms of we should be in control of our own bodies. We can be in control of our own bodies. Now listen up, we need your help to do that. And I think that spans not only endometriosis, but yeah, like you say, women's health. Another great point about endo is that it's a completely silent disease in the sense that there's nothing you can see that's going on with the human, and often why it's been overlooked and dismissed for so long. On top of that, it's very hard to see with any sort of normal ultrasound or scan, and very hard for someone that's not experienced in it or specialized in it to put the symptoms that you get with it all together and to be able to label it as endo, because individually a lot of those symptoms might get labeled as just IBS or mental health issues or bad periods. So yeah, it's
like separate, just separate conditions, not, yeah, okay.
When
so
it's all
it's
really
a
just one thing.
very tricky invasive disease, not only for your
And
body
therefore,
to manage. So
yeah, I was gonna say, and
yeah,
therefore different providers too, right? So then you start having that kind of disconnect in your care, I imagine, when you don't have one physician or specialist treating you for all of those things.
yeah, 100%. There are
Wow.
some stats out there that say people bounce between 5 to 10 practitioners before they get their
Mm.
diagnosis. And it's also why it takes an average of 10 years to get an official diagnosis as well.
10
Um,
years?
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I guess it's my goal and what led me to now live in endometriosis remission or live pain and symptom free. And it's what the evidence supports and what practitioners wish you would know when you go on your medical journey, which is like there's a real time and place for the right surgery at the right time with the right specialist, and hormones and potentially other things that need to come into play. But to actually get to a place of living well with the disease, because there is no medical cure, it is a lifelong disease. It requires you to nourish those systems of the body that I said would be completely dysfunctional. It requires you to nourish those into a place of homeostasis again so they can start fighting for you rather than actually against you and fueling the disease. And so our goal or our product or the Endo 45 app is about taking you on that journey, giving you everything that you need to say what we call become what we call EndoFit. And that's a place where endometriosis is understood. So you've now got the full foundation of what it's all about and what's going on in your body. It's managed. So you've got some really good managing techniques and tools that are going to help you get you out of zombie mode, at least for a little bit, so you can start really like functioning in life and doing some things towards bettering your health. And then also where we say it makes basically you get to a place where it doesn't hold you back. And that's where you're really starting to live well with the disease, and you're starting to reclaim your version of your best self. It's like we really need all of us. We need everyone, everywhere, everyone from the people just, continuing to tell the story, continuing to make it real for everyone globally that this condition does exist. It is real, and this is how it impacts us, right through to working in schools and corporates, which is some of what I do as well, going into businesses and helping educate and understand and train and leave them with tools like Endo 45. And then right through to giving this endometriosis community things at their fingertips that they can take control of the disease with. And support
bring the people, right?
Yeah.
Gotta have that volume to
doing the research. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of interesting research which is happening at the intersection of why the immune system welcomes those rogue cells rather than clears them out, and what is the dysfunction there that's happening. And I think whoever cracks that is probably onto a real root cause treatment that may definitely shape how we manage endometriosis in the future. Was it hard? I think what was really hard was being at the height of my career when being slammed with a stage 4 endometriosis bus in a male-dominated environment where the company hadn't even heard of the word endometriosis, almost losing my relationship, almost walking away from that career, and then having this gold moment where I'm in tears in my boss's office and I'm explaining to him what's going on with me and how I just can't cope anymore. This is before I even know what I have, because I've been dismissed by a number of practitioners at this point. And he does something completely unexpected and leans in and says, how do I help and support you? And in that moment, it changed the trajectory of my life, because he enabled me to carve out a career that really worked for me, because for a lot of us, it requires a flexible workspace and an understanding workspace to thrive, because we cannot show up with 150% every day of the month when we are battling endometriosis. It's just not going to happen. So how do you work in a high-performing team environment, and how do you sort of be able to bring your best self on any given day, and for the company to still be able to get value out of that? So that's a big piece of my journey, and I've sort of lost the original question, sorry, but
no, that was great. That was exactly
that
what
a lot around here.
You got it. You answered the whole thing.
Yeah.
This has been a Shut Up production.
Shut up!